and spirits sail. Every mark on this earth tells a tale. Every day that goes by without ever asking why, you believe in your dreams. Close your eyes and believe in magic as I hold your hand. Close your eyes, believe in magic. 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 Believe in magic.
Hello, hello to all you beautiful multidimensional beings of the light out there, wherever and whenever you may be listening to the show across the entire globe. Today is Monday, March 11th, 2019, and I'm your host, Shishi O'Donnell, coming to you live from Los Angeles, California. I am a life, love, and relationship coach, divine lifestyle consultant, certified angel therapy practitioner, and much more. And you're now listening to International Angels Network. We are a show that explores angels, healing, metaphysics, and other empowering topics. And we are a live call-in show. So give us a ring at 516-453-9162. That is 1-516-453-9162. You can also Skype into the show for free from anywhere around the world. You'll see a Skype icon on the Blog Talk website while we're live on the air, and make sure you press 1 on your phone keypad or your Skype keypad if you'd like to speak with me today for a free mini reading in the second half of the show. International Angels Network is sponsored by Audible. You can get a free audiobook of your choice today by visiting audibletrial.com/international angels with an S. Today, we're going to be exploring what does it mean to live in the fifth dimensional vibrational frequency. And we're also going to be talking about the other dimensions, 1 through 12. And like I said, we'll be taking calls for readings a little bit later. So anyone who took physics, math, or even cabinet making in high school, my dad was a cabinet making teacher, a high school cabinet making teacher. And I remember when I would bring home like geometry questions from school and ask, I really want him to help me solve like a specific question. The next thing you know, we'd have a piece of paper and he'd be splitting it into 4 pieces and describing like all the philosophy behind it, which I did not care about. I just wanted him to like write in the answer. But the basic dimensions, that we were all taught are like, a little single dot would be the first dimension. And then a line, there's 2 points added together by a line is the second dimension. The third dimension is like, let's say, the second dimension could also be like a cube or a circle or a straight or a triangle, but not, it's still flat on the page. And then when it's 3-dimensional, you're dealing with height, width, length, and like a cube or, a sphere or a pyramid. And fourth dimension is length and time. So like if you were to watch, I don't think we all learned about the fourth dimension, but the basic way to describe it would be watching something from like a baby all the way to its death. That happens in the fourth dimension. This seems like linear, but it's all happening now, but it is apparently a length of time. It is a little bit confusing. So today we're going to go through more detailed what the dimensions are. And sometimes people get confused. There's a lot of quantum physics, and it's really incredible the research that's been done, and string theory. And I mean, I'm not going to be able to try and explain all these things because I'm not a physicist, but a dimension is not a place, rather it's a state of consciousness, and it's a certain vibratory frequency. The actual definition of it is a dimension is a state of consciousness and a means of organizing different planes of existence according to the vibratory rate of that which exists. Each dimension has certain sets of laws and principles that are specific to the frequency of that dimension. all human beings are multidimensional beings of light. So I've often, if you heard it said that you're living different lifetimes and different star systems and different incarnations and your past lives, and those are all happening at once. This is what it means by we're multidimensional. We're not just whoever you are in this 2019, born in the town that you're in. You're much more exciting than that and multifaceted. So all humans have the, even though we're trapped in this apparent, visible, dense physical body, and our consciousness has been projected into this, but we have the potential to access the first 5 dimensions. When we do meditation, when we ask our spirit guides or angels for guidance, we can also access the 4th dimension, which is the plane of time, and often 5th dimension. Obviously, we're living in the 3rd dimension. Everyone who's born here, this is all we've known. There's like matter and a bed that you sit on, a chair, or this or that. These are things that we see as are real, even though inside they're 99.9% empty space, just spinning electrons, but it seems like it's real. The indigos and crystal children can access 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th dimension, and some of the light workers as well. And that's how we do readings, when we're accessing these other dimensions. When I was researching, because I wasn't born knowing everything about the dimensions, but I wanted to get some other experts' take on it. I was really fascinated by coming across a work by Barbara Handclough. And she is a Native American granddaughter who is basically appointed the keeper of the records for her tribe. And she channeled a book from the Pleiadians called The Alchemy of 9 Dimensions. So according to her, I'd like to start with her take on the dimensions because it's really fascinating. She channeled this book in the 90s, and when she channeled it, a lot of the things she talked about in this book called The Alchemy of 9 Dimensions were she didn't personally understand it. She said it took her years and years and years to understand it, but it was only later that a lot of the things that she channeled were proven. So according to her, the first dimension is the iron core crystal in the center of the earth. So she was given a vision of this, that it is larger than the moon, and it's a hexagonal crystal, and that it's as hot as the sun. And she wrote about that. And then in 1996, there was an 8.6 earthquake in Bolivia, and the scientists were, able to prove that this was, or came out with a report about that. And then she was like, wow, that's correct. So this is the source energy to anchor in the physical body, the beginning point of all manifestation. This is where materialization happens as the result of the planetary spin. The first dimensional core origination point eventually ends in the 9th dimension. So if you can imagine a vertical from the crystal core of the earth, crystalline iron crystal apparently, to the center of the Milky Way galaxy. That is the 9 dimensions. And it's a vertical 9 dimensions. So for anyone who incarnates on Earth, this is our iron core crystal in the center of the Earth, and it's also called the database of records of all of life and evolution are contained in this iron core of the Earth, including the Akashic records. Now, I don't know if any of you were on about a month ago when I was talking about the Akashic records, and I understood it was in the 6th dimension. And it turns out it's everywhere. So it starts in the 1st dimension, goes all the way up to all the dimensions, because it's the record of all that is and all that's happened. And the 9th dimension so we got that. So the 9th dimension ends in the Milky Way, the center of the Milky Way galaxy. Now, according to Barbara Handclough, humans cannot even slightly comprehend 10th, 11th, and 12th dimensions, so she doesn't even address those in her book. But I did research it and find other people's take on it. I will share a little about those at the end. But she talks about the ones that the Pleiadians downloaded to her that we can even have an inkling of understanding about as humans. So the second dimension is the realm of life between the iron core crystal in the center of the earth and the earth's crust. So, of course, that contains all minerals, crystals, as well as the world of life forms inside our bodies. So it's sort of like the inside of our bodies is like the inside of the earth. Bacteria, all kinds of single-cell organisms, and this is all existing in that arena of second dimensional. So the second dimension represents our physical body chemically. It's where crystals and minerals come from, and so it's no wonder that many humans love crystals and want to work with them, and that it helps you to master physical health. So the vibration of the crystals matches and can heal the vibration of the inside of our body, because the crystals come from the inside of Mother Earth, and our body is, our body is a representation of Mother Earth. So from the edge of the iron core crystal to the edge of the earth, it vibrates at, for many, many years, hundreds of years, it was vibrating at 7.8 hertz, which is the Schumann resonance, named after this professor from Switzerland who discovered that the earth has a vibration and measured it. And it's only over the last year to couple of years it's been raising dramatically. It was going up to 30. From 7.8 forever and ever and ever, all of a sudden the earth is ascending, and it's measurable by science. The vibrational frequency of the earth is raising. And the last few weeks, it has been off the charts, going over even higher than 100 at times, 60, 75. It's related to a lot of things, including the solar flares and the solar energy, but also that just in general, we are ascending as beings on this earth, and the earth is ascending. So anyone who's holding on to the lower dense frequencies of fear, doubt, lack are really having some awakenings, and also releasing a lot of the emotional pent-up pain so that we can let go of that and fully embody the light and go into a higher frequency. Let's see. So often, when people are getting massages, I had a beautiful healer. Her name's Brigitte Berg. And she had this gorgeous, huge, massive crystals that she put underneath the massage table that were like in the form of grids and, pyramids. And my dear friend Krista Gardner is another healer who uses sound healing and crystals. She makes grids for every client that's coming to her for a massage and a healing. She does grids for them. She tunes into their soul before they arrive. And she creates beautiful crystalline grids to help harmonize and heal the physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional bodies. So Barbara posits that Christianity conspired around 300 to 400 AD to cut people off from their connection to the second dimension, because the church wanted control. And they were observing the fact that people were getting their power from sacred sites. They had the well at Glastonbury. They had all these beautiful sacred sites built on ley lines with crystals and power sites. And they built churches on top of these power sites. And then they demonized, crystals and cut people off from their own source of being their own healer, their own connection to God, and had them go through the priests and give all their money and and control them through guilt and fear. And so they were cut off from the medicine of the crystals that can heal people. And so I'm not going to go into all the details about that because there's, I don't want to get too dark, but some of the, okay, we'll move on to the next thing. I don't feel qualified to talk about every single subject until I understand it more. So now let's talk about the third dimension. Now, I've often talked about that on the show and talking about how we're raising from the third to the fifth dimensional frequency. And the third dimension contains all life and things on the Earth's surface and their relationships. And this is how linear space and time is shared with all biological creatures, animals, plants, and us included. And it's also where the physical and non-physical realms intersect. You can experience the physical body while having the capacity to explore other dimensions. And humans, we are the keepers of the third dimension. And from the indigenous point of view, it's important to be conscious of the directions. Where are you at in space and time? And if you'll notice the medicine wheel, and they honor the four directions, all the indigenous tribes and different ceremonies created to connect with the earth and the heavens. So they're basically bringing the energy of heaven to earth, and to be connected to the different directions and be aware of where you are, as well as ground into that mother energy of the earth. So the fourth dimension is, according to Barbara Hand Clow, is the realm of the human collective mind and feelings. And this is the amalgam of individual thoughts and feelings that meld and weave into the archetypal patterns that connect all people. So this is where you master balancing your male and female energies in perfect harmony. And she talked about how, something I want to correct, some maybe mistakes that I had as far as my understanding of the third dimension. I kind of demonized the third dimension, I realize now after I've been exploring it, by saying this is the realm of fear, greed, lack, scarcity, and fifth dimension is love and oneness, and that's the good place, and you want to be out of the bad place. But actually, the third dimension itself is not, there's nothing wrong with it. It's a dimension of human life. And we were somewhat hijacked, and and so the fourth dimension is these energies of thoughts and all kinds of stuff that have affected, because the collective unconscious of the U.S. of the Earth is a lot of fear, lack, scarcity, stress. But that resides in the fourth dimension, which is the thoughts and beliefs. So because that is the primary place where the human consciousness lies at this time, that's why it seems like, the third dimension can be so terrible, because that is affecting it, because we are to a certain extent basically enslaved by this Anunnaki, or these beings who came to I read this book by Drunvalo Melchizedek, and 96,000 years ago, there are proof of, in Africa, these mines that these beings were mining for gold. They came here, and apparently they seeded the human race, and they're running us. You could say they're the reptilians and all that stuff with David Icke, where it's basically about controlling humans. But how this all started was around 11 to 12,000 years ago. We had a cataclysm, and this is channeled information from the Pleiadians through Barbara Hand Clow. So this cataclysm caused fear and confusion, and around 8,000 BC, the Atlanteans took control. And there was a king culture where the elite, about 5,000 years ago, there was elite that took over the control, and that is the elite that runs the world today. In other words, the 80% of the 1% that owns 80% of the world's wealth, the people who are, basically creating the Agenda 21, where humans are being destroyed, all this stuff. That is the fourth dimensional frequency is controlled by them. So we don't want to get stuck in this fourth dimension of basically negative energy. And there is levels of it. So you've got, and that's the astral plane, the fourth dimension. So you have lower levels, and there are, that's where purgatory, hell, and demons and crazy stuff. And then you move up higher, there are, beautiful energies as well. But it's very many different levels in the fourth dimension. This is stuff I need to research more, but I'm just sharing the notes that I took that were interesting. So it's not that 3D is bad per se. It's that the main thoughts of the day are created in this fourth dimension, which is control, fear, lack, scarcity, and separation. And the truth is that we are all one, which is what the fifth dimensional vibrational frequency is. So how do we get out of this kind of murky area of fourth dimensional confusion where there's a group of beings who are very interested in controlling us through programming of the media, through TV programs, and, basically taking over the mind and turning us into little pawns or cogs in the wheel to create money for someone else, giving your precious life force energy, but not to live a life where you are inspired and creative and sharing your gifts. Now, there are many levels to all of this. Some people are zombies fast asleep. Some people are waking up. There's been a huge shift, especially in this last year, of people having spiritual awakening experiences where they realize they're here to do more than just, be hypnotized into the consumer culture where you're just supposed to, in this supposed land of the free, like, oh, yes, I have my own house, but you're enslaved to paying the mortgage till you die and the car and all that, where you're constantly work, but you're not free. You're not really free. So the fifth dimensional vibrational frequency is light itself, is unity consciousness and light itself, and it's very beautiful energy. So to get there, we need to get out of the head and into the heart. And this is the realm of love, and it expresses the energy of the whole universe. So the fifth dimension is the realm of light centered in the heart, and it resonates with the Earth's biological creatures and plants. Here we master unconditional love and forgiveness. And she suggests that Moldavite is from the Pleiadian constellation, and it's one of the top stones to work with right now for acceleration of your spiritual path, for protection and for grounding into your heart. So when you harmonize and balance the mind and emotions, which many of us light workers are going through a lot, to be able to let go of past pains and hurts and emotions, to be able to come into that space of harmony, then that's when the fifth dimension can come in. Your heart opens, and unconditional love is basically the energy of this dimension. So when the heart opens, the geometrical field expands out of your heart into the cosmos as sacred geometry, which is the sixth dimension. We'll get to that in a minute, but it's sacred geometry coming out of your heart and into the whole universe. And sound is the next dimension, which is that creates the music of the spheres. That's the seventh dimensional frequency. The eighth dimension is light, and the ninth dimension is time, calling in the purpose of what you're here for, not the regular time that we're used to on our clocks. So, and we do go back and forth depending on where we are. We can be multidimensional, and we can be in the third dimension, and then we can be in the fifth dimension, the sixth dimension, the 10th dimension. We can be accessing all of them and back up and down again. And an interesting side note, the crop circles, there are people who have heard crop circles being made, and they actually hear sounds. And Barbara says that she has been shown that the crop circles were created from ships, which through sound, just like cymatics. You might have heard of that, where you put sand on a plate and you play music under it, and the sand just goes into the beautiful sacred geometry symbols through perfect harmony. So what are some signs that you are in the fifth dimensional frequency? So you'll start to see synchronicities, which I call it following the thread of synchronicities. It's coincidences that are in alignment with something you're really wanting in your life. And you start following it, and miracles keep happening, and you keep being grateful, and more miracles keep happening, and you think you're living some kind of a dream, and you're like, I can't believe this is really real. And then you have books falling off shelves with the exact right message, and you see repeating numbers. When I first started waking up, I was seeing 1111 everywhere, 1111, 1111, 1111. And then I started seeing my life purpose number from this book, The Life You Were Born to Live by Dan Millman. It was 358. So if I was trying to decide if I would do something or not, I'd be awakened at 358 with like a really strong sense, yes or no. And I was awakened at 3:58 a.m. many nights in the middle of the night, and would get my journal out and write for 3 hours and then go back to sleep. I call it my second sleep. And I read somewhere that that was a real thing. We didn't used to just sleep 8 hours through the night. We did 4 and 4 back in the day. So that's a very powerful time to have downloads is in the middle of the night if you're awakened. Another sign that you're living the fifth dimensional vibrational frequency is you start to believe in the unseen, non-physical supportive forces of existence, such as angels, spirit guides, sixth dimensional, your sixth sense starts expanding, you start experiencing like a knowing, you start getting much more telepathy and tapping into your intuition, and you go through a massive transformational journey. You go through this fast track of letting go of energetic weight and blockages, and life orchestrates and gives you lessons so that you can lose more baggage and be triggered and let it go and evolve. You have psychic senses opening, and you become more empathic, more aware, more sensitive. You might be able to feel other people's feelings in your own body. When I started wakening up, one of the main things I noticed was I could not hear or see, like if you had the surgery channel on, I felt it in my body. If someone told me I stubbed my toe, I would feel it. It's not, it's not like it's me actually having the energy, but I feel like an energy. So I'm super, super, super sensitive. That is a sign of feeling connected to, energetically, to everything and everyone, because we are all one. And you have the sense that you are one with everything. You have more of a knowing, and you're aware of this mass awakening that I'm talking about and the shift of frequency that we are experiencing. And you feel connected to it, and you start to know you have a mission, that you are here for a reason, and you have this growing desire to discover who you are, what's your purpose, what are you here for? And you want to help people, and you resonate with, another sign is that you resonate with metaphysical things and books and movies and uplifting things like this. So I'd love to do an experiential, because that's a little bit, as my friend Zarathustra, he's a teacher, a spiritual teacher, and his thing is fifth dimensional vibrational frequency. He always says, this stuff is a little mindy, meaning it's trapped in the mind. I'm talking about this book, and I'm talking about the dimensions. And the way to experience it, we have to move from our head to our heart. Now, how do we do that? There's only one way. It's for Shishi to shut up and go into the silence. So the access to the fifth dimensional vibrational frequency is silence. So that's, and a great way is through meditation. But we're not going to try and do any chants or any mantras or trying to get it right. We're just going to simply chill out, relax, take some deep breaths in. So the first step is to take some deep breaths. And as you breathe deeply, you get out of that feeling there's something wrong here, I have to do this, I have to do that. Or you might even be experiencing some thoughts, which is the monkey mind. But instead of identifying with those thoughts as you remember that you're like the blue sky, and these thoughts are like clouds going past. And you just notice them and let them go, and you keep breathing deep. And I want you to put your hand on your heart, and I want you to connect with your heart. The fastest way I found to do this is to think of a puppy or a kitten or a bunny or a fluffy animal or a baby or anything that makes you be like thinking, it's so cute, I just love it so much, and your heart just, you can be in the grumpiest mood. If someone brought you a kitten, you're immediately out of that mood. Or at least for most people. Not everyone loves kittens, I guess, but those people are really weird if they don't. Just kidding. So picture a beautiful, something that opens your heart, a baby, and that actually scares people too. So not everyone loves babies, but if it's something that opens your heart, think of that. And as you feel your heart flowering open, I want you to turn that same love that you feel for that little puppy or kitten in on your own inner child. we all have inner children, and they often feel neglected, and they just want to be loved and held and told everything's going to be okay. And it's amazing how much more beautiful and peaceful life can be when you've given your inner child attention and listened to them and let them feel safe and loved. And then you feel good. So picture yourself picking your own little inner child up, like 2, 3, or 4-year-old you, and just hold you to your close to you and tell you love you. And then your heart is open. So then you're in the 5th dimension. When you leave the house, you have so much more open, non-judgment toward others. You have more patience. You feel like everyone's your brother, sister, friend. That's the 5th dimensional vibrational frequency. Then you're living connected to everyone. You feel love. You start kind of following the synchronicities, which is your soul, guiding you toward the highest version of your life. And that's where the most beautiful place is to be living, is in this 5th dimensional vibrational frequency. So thanks for doing that with me. And so we have there's a lot of stuff written on the dimensions, and I recommend everyone does more research, and we can talk more about it on another show. We are going to be taking calls for live mini readings pretty soon, because that half an hour went by super fast. So listen to International Angels Network 6 days a week, where we explore everything metaphysical, spiritual, and mystical, and much more. And we also take your calls for angel messages live on the air. If you're not able to join us live, you can catch the archived podcasts on iTunes, Pinterest, Podable, Player FM, Castbox, Podtail, Podchaser, Stitcher, Google Play, and now on iHeartRadio. Our online radio network has started a membership program to help spiritual entrepreneurs expand their businesses. International Angels Network offers ongoing support, coaching, and mentoring for all spiritual entrepreneurs worldwide for the low starting price of just $20 per month. You can learn more or register at internationalangelsnetwork.com/membership. My name is Angel Shishi O'Donnell. I love empowering people through my one-on-one Divine Life Coaching program. And I also love helping people to connect to their guides and angels and to get peace of mind through my angel readings. For info on my readings, events, and coaching packages, please visit my website, divineguidancereadings.com, or you can follow or friend me on social media. I'm Shishi O'Donnell on Facebook, or Divine Guidance Readings with Angel Shishi on Facebook, or on Instagram, I'm just Angel Shishi. Nice and easy. By the way, all of our shows are now available on YouTube Live as well. Please go to YouTube, search for International Angels Network, and make sure to subscribe and tap on that bell icon to get notifications. For every 100th subscriber, you'll be entered into a drawing for free gifts. So give us a ring at 516-453-9162, and make sure you press 1 on your phone keypad or Skype keypad if you would like to talk with me and get a free angel reading. So we have Gigi from California on the line. Gigi, are you there?
Yes, that's me.
Hi, Gigi. Gigi and Shishi. I like that.
I know.
So what's going on with you, love?
Sometimes I pronounce it Gigi as well, so funny.
Yes, Gigi.
Yeah. So I am actually in a transitional phase. I would like to know what you might pick up around housing for me and
Housing. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's see. Well, Archangel Michael is definitely working with you. He's coming up for sure. Do you talk with him, or do you feel like you have a relationship with him?
Yes, I do.
So he's giving you the courage to make life changes so you can live a life more in alignment with your soul. I got protection, so you're protected, and that this move is a part of your life's purpose. So that's why you're being kind of pushed out of the nest a little bit, even though it's scary. It's basically related to you achieving your life purpose to be in a space that's more harmonious for you and your soul, which is a new place of living. Are you experiencing problems? Because I got rise above problems.
Well, it's interesting because I had my own place for 18 months and then I had to leave that, and I found a situation that I thought was going to last a little longer, but now I find myself having to look again. Although I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure about this. Like, there's some question as to whether these people are really serious about wanting me to move on, because I feel kind of like a different energy. Like almost like go stop.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
have you heard about the Mercury retrograde is like don't make any decisions. Everything's up in the air. I feel that do you feel you love where you live right now?
I actually feel comfortable, and it's not
okay. Well, you're comfortable. And who wants to move? It's very difficult and challenging, or can seem very difficult and challenging to move. But I feel this is happening for a reason, so you don't get too comfortable. So what is your dream situation? It's in 1 month, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, oh gosh, again, I have to do all the heavy lifting. Dream situation would be to either, have my own place, like my own studio, or have a place with a really cool partner. That's it.
Okay, so that I'm feeling time is speeding up. So you have that as a long-held dream in your heart, right? Like, I would love to have that someday in the future. So can you make room for a miracle in 1 month? And be open, as Reverend Michael Agape says, how good are you willing to have it? Like, we are comfortable and we're, things are good, but your dream is not exactly where you're at. So this may be coming only to get you in action with really visualizing where you want to live, so you can magnetize that faster. Whether you actually have to leave in 1 month or not is not as much the issue as you getting really serious about knowing that your needs and wants are important, and that you want to start watering those dreams like little seedlings. And I got the card Follow Your Dreams. So they want you to write down in ink pen in extreme detail what it is with the present tense. I am, I have, imagining it and speaking it into existence, and drawing that to you. I'm so grateful now that I have my own place, my own studio, my partner, and everything in detail. And you smell the new paint, and you smell, feel exactly what it is you're wanting. And let the angels do the work of creating the synchronicities to bring a new situation to you. And we're going to ask that they surround this whole move, whether it's now, in 3 months. It doesn't feel like it's actually going to be in a month to me. So, but it's getting the ball rolling to get you thinking there may be a change. And why is that happening? Because your soul is wanting to grow and evolve and go to the next level of where you're headed. Does that make sense?
Definitely, but it's interesting. I said that I've been here for a month, and I now the situation seemed like it didn't work out. So they gave me a timeline of leaving the 19th of this month. But I'm not feeling that that's actually what's. Yes, I'm not feeling that that's actually going to happen. What's going to happen?
No. Definitely not. First of all, that's totally impossible for you to do. Anyways, I mean, it would be very uncomfortable. And you don't have to do that. So just, even if they were saying you have to do that, you could just be like, no, that's not happening. But I'm seeing possibly in 3 months. In other words, you really could hang on for 3 months if you want to. But get busy manifesting with your prayers, your thoughts, your visioning, getting really clear with your visualization. And be open and say, angels, I surrender this whole situation to you. If you want me to stay, I'll stay. If you want me to leave, I'm surrendering this, and I'm asking that you replace it with something much better that I will love. And you've got to do your part of believing it's possible for miracles to happen. What city are you in?
Totally. What city?
Yeah.
Encinitas.
Oh, okay. So, there's a beautiful home waiting for you, and we're just calling it forth right now. So the angels are going to start working their magic to help bring that to you, that it's affordable, bring everything to make it the move with ease and grace if and when that happens. It's all, I feel like you have much more of a say in this than you think. That's what I feel.
Well, I'm feeling that too. I felt that too, even though I couldn't necessarily, have proof of it, but I was just feeling it.
Yeah, I feel that. So
Okay.
you keep staying relaxed, don't fall into fear, and be open for a miracle coming your way regarding housing. And we're seeing that happen for you as well.
Thank you so much, Gigi. It's really validating.
Thank you, Gigi. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Blessings. Have a
All
beautiful evening. Thanks for calling.
Thank you.
Okay.
You too.
Thanks. Bye. So we have Lori from Florida. Lori, are you there?
I am.
Hi, Lori. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing real good, thank you. And
Wonderful.
Thank you. My question is, also either about housing, I'll let you choose, or about a new career path, whatever you feel inspired to enlighten me about. Because I've been.
So your question is what, housing or a new career path that you want information on? Okay. So let's see. Well, you got go forward fearlessly and kick up your heels. Well, I think both of those things are happening for you, is housing and a new career path. So it's both. The prayer for Archangel Michael, who is going to assist you in this move, is go forward fearlessly. So thank you, Archangel Michael, for walking with me every step of the way, for holding my hand, giving me confidence and courage, and guiding my thoughts and actions in the direction of love and my true life's purpose. And so you're going to celebrate that you have your new job and your new home right now. So, so where are you at? How do you feel about your current housing situation?
Oh, it's a beautiful house, but it's not an energetic fit. It's around people that are too old, a lot older than we are. And for the price of pay, we could have a lot better living than we're not getting. Yeah.
And the first thing you're going to do when you move to your new place is throw a party. That's what I'm seeing, because you can't do that now. You don't have the freedom to do them. So, All right. So how much visioning have you done regarding your new home?
A lot. We've already decorated it in our minds. I mean, I'm already...
Great. Okay, good.
We're already looking at YouTube videos to learn how to plant shrubs. I mean, we're really focusing on it. Yeah.
Okay, so what the angels are saying is the new career is coming before the new place. So you've been getting some guidance about starting something new with work, right?
Yes.
And how much action have you done with that?
I've been fearless.
Okay, good job.
Asking the angels and doing things that are normally out of character for me, in a way that's comfortable. I've been doing things. I've been putting myself out there. I've been putting my work out there. I've been, conversations. I agreed to do an interview, and that's not the way that I am, but I agreed to do one, and it was splendid. It was divine. It was so much fun.
Congrats. Well, I'm feeling that your house is going to come through going out there, networking about your new business or your, new career with people, and you're going to have a synchronicity happen, which is a new home come out of that. So keep up the good work with, being a little uncomfortable with expansion, and getting to the next level and following your intuition of where to go. Now, are you going to certain events? How are you doing with that? Are you saying yes to invitations, going to events?
The kind of business that I'm in is more virtual, as in I write, as in I speak. So, a lot of people that have basically said, well, let's promote you, let's do that. I would say no. And now I'm saying yes to everything. And I'm putting myself out there. I've put myself on a forum as of December, basically advertising, my abilities and what I can do. And all this is really, really new for me, really new.
That's great. I'm so proud of you for doing that. And I understand it's mainly online. I know what you mean, but mine is too. but I go places physically to meet people because that's where the magic happens. I mean, it happens both places, but that's where you meet people that you have synchronicities and doors open, and they meet you in person, and they say, wow, I have a place. Did you want to rent it? And then you say, yes. So keep up the good work with all the work that you're doing with this new promoting yourself online. I definitely feel that is your life purpose, and you are on track with that. So keep it up. It is going to be fruitful. But there are some real live events that you can go to make connections regarding what you're doing, in-person things. What town do you live in?
Orlando.
Orlando. Do you know Jimmy Mack? Have you heard of the Jimmy Mack Healing Show?
Name rings a bell, but not.
I would. Maybe you could go on his show and make some of friends through there. They have a big spiritual community that he was telling me about, and newsletters, and people get together. You need like-minded people to commune with, even just for fun. It doesn't have to be related to specific networking for your profession, but networking happens just when you go out and have fun. So, but they're saying kick up your heels. They really want you to celebrate now as if. Celebrate your successful new business, celebrate the new clients, celebrate the being known, celebrate having your new home, and keep the faith. You are on track. It is happening.
Ooh, that feels good.
Yay! Let's party.
I did the heart exercises with you girls. I was doing the heart exercises. That feels so good. It really does.
Oh, no. And how long does it take to think of a puppy or a kitten? 1 second. It's so easy.
I was looking at my husband's face, and that always makes me melt. So that's what I was able to do. Just looking at his face.
Looking at what?
An image of my husband smiling.
That's so beautiful. So your husband, that's what you're thinking of, and it opens your heart. That's really beautiful. Yeah, I don't have a husband yet, so I guess I didn't think about. That's not what I think of. So that opens your heart. That gets you there. That's so beautiful. Thinking of your hubby. Well, keep thinking of love, and you're so loved and surrounded by angels, spirit guides, and your husband's always with you in your heart, and definitely feel a beautiful resonance there. And many blessings, and I'm knowing you're going to find a beautiful place and that your career is going to pick up. Seeing that for you and holding the faith.
Thank you.
Thank you, honey.
Thanks.
Thank you for your call. Okay, blessings, and catch you later. So we have Philson from Ohio. Philson, are you there?
Yes.
Hi, how are you, love?
Good.
Good. What can I help you with?
Career. All right. Now I'm unemployed and I'm just applying to different jobs, but I'm not sure.
Okay. So we got look inside yourself and be honest with yourself. So you obviously know you need a job, and it sounds like you're not sure, and you're just kind of applying, kind of like shooting fish in a barrel, hoping something comes up, but wouldn't it be more inspiring to have a vision that's greater than you, that's leading you forward in your life, and you feel like your job is in alignment with your life purpose?
Yeah.
What have you done any work on that? Like really, do you have an inkling of what you think your life purpose might be?
I'm not actually sure. At all.
Yeah, you don't have to be sure. It's okay. So I pulled the card workshops and seminars. So there's some teachers, there's some books. It says attending and giving speeches is a part of your spiritual path and purpose. Be open to teaching and learning. That's what the actual card says, but I don't think it's about giving speeches. I think it's about going to workshops that will inspire you to get to know who you are, what you're here for. The first step I can tell you to start, kind of doing the work is to write in your journal and remembering when you were a child the things that you used to love to do, and time stood still when you did it. Like, so when you were little, what were your favorite things to do? Do you remember when you were little?
Yeah, probably just writing or
Yeah.
art or something like that.
So writing or art. Okay, great. So can you start by, because the other card I got, look inside yourself and be honest with yourself. Can you start by writing in the journal all the things you're really frustrated about in your life? Like, I'm really sick of this. I'm sick of that. I don't like this. And get it out. You know what I mean? Because I think you're trying to be really nice and you are really frustrated. And, you know, I think you're in a little bit of fear of needing to find a job. But can you be gentle and patient with yourself and allow this process to take place, or kind of like a purging? Since you like writing anyway and you are artistic and introspective and kind of on the introverted side, it's a great way to dive deeper. So do kind of like stream of consciousness, whatever's in your mind, just write it out there. You know, if you can wake up in the morning and set your alarm, your timer for 20 minutes and just write, you're going to start seeing some themes. Now, one, you're going to start dumping, like when the computer has too much stuff in the memory that kind of has, it gets clogged and you can't think straight. So a good way to get it out is doing a memory dump at the beginning of each day. Talk, everything that's on your mind and heart, and then you'll start to see some signs coming through there, and you'll start to see, like, I wish I could do this. And you're going to be listening to your soul and giving it a chance to voice things. So it's a little confusing because the soul is, the ego is always the part that's like, there's something wrong here. How do you know your ego is running you? You feel bad, you feel depressed, you feel lost, you're beating yourself up, you think you're a loser, think there's something wrong, all these thoughts, that's the ego. It's running, it runs us a lot of the time. But if you stop identifying with that part of you as you, which when you get it out on paper and you kind of get it out of you, then you can start tuning into your true self, your soul, which how do you know that you're in alignment with your soul? As you feel inspired, you feel excited. And how do you feel excited? You're tuning into what your inner child loves. So if your inner child loves art, do you know that there are jobs that you can do art, whether it's teaching art or art therapy? There are jobs that you can do that are outside of the box that you're thinking of. You're kind of applying. It's fine. You need a job to live, so it's okay to get a job in the meantime. But make sure if you get a job that you have plenty of time to do this inner work, because nobody can skip this step. We're not born remembering, many of us. I mean, some of us are now, but most of us have that veil of forgetfulness when we come to, we're a soul that's total, expansive, and free in heaven. And we come to earth, we pick our parents, and we forget everything. We come here, and we're just like, oh my gosh, this is life. And then we go through life stumbling along, and we have other people inject their value system into us, and we become, we do things and try and please everyone, and we find out that doesn't make us happy. So you're learning your journey. You're learning to remember that who you really are by tuning into your soul. But I feel if you can look online or a meetup group or just see if there are any workshops that you're inspired to go to and attend, maybe metaphysical workshops, I feel that they would love you to try that. And the card I pulled for you is make a commitment. So it's really like you're going to make a commitment to yourself, not to throw yourself under the bus, not to leave yourself high and dry and just let yourself deal with the stress of life and just get a job and suffer and suck it up. No, you're going to commit to a higher purpose. So this is Archangel Michael. It says, Archangel Michael, as the angel of courage and confidence, I call upon you. This is your prayer, by the way, I'm just saying it. To lend me your strength. And anyone who's listening, you can use this as your prayer to Archangel Michael. Allow me to commit to myself, my life, and my divine purpose. Please clearly guide me so that I can fully open my heart to every experience. So we want to have your heart open. We want to have you connected to your angels and guides and your soul. And it doesn't matter what job you do as long as you're connected to love, because love is the end game. That's what we're here to do, to learn to love ourselves and others perfectly and unconditionally. And then how you do it, you can make a living, believe it or not, through art. There are creative ways, and the angels will show you. But first, do the work of going within to the silence and connecting with your soul, and you'll be guided, and you'll start to see evidence of the angels helping you, and through synchronicities and signs. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
I hope that helps, sweetie. Sending you lots of love and inspiration and seeing you stepping into that woman you're capable of becoming. Thank you for your call. So we have
Thank
Belinda Myers. Oh, thank you, love. Thank you. Belinda Myers on YouTube Live. Belinda is our loyal listener. Hey, Belinda. So you just want a general question, a general reading. Okay, so let's see. What do the angels want you to know? Divine magic. So extra magical energy surrounds your situation right now. Expect miracles. And then that implies that the next card that you pull out of the deck is very important. And the card I pulled out is you and your loved ones are safe. So it may be that you're questioning your safety and feeling insecure. And I know we've talked in the past, and I do believe you do feel insecure in your home situation. So this is the prayer, honey. So, dear God and Archangel Michael, thank you for watching over me and my loved ones. Please help me feel secure and at peace and fill me with faith so that I may focus on my priorities and enjoy a healthful, happy life. So what are your priorities? Even in your situation where you're still in your home where you feel like you can't leave and you don't have a choice, you can do the inner work to feel safe. So how do you do that? You remember who you really are, which is divine. So it's very important to remember, and you can do the visualization of the solar plexus chakra, which is the sun. So you picture the sun, which is connected to the sun in our solar system, as well as the grand central sun in the center of all the multiverses. And then there's source, creator, God, Father, Mother, God, connected to that. And it's shining inside of you. In the Catholic tradition where I was raised, that was called the Holy Spirit is within you. This is God within you. So when you remember, Belinda, that you are divine and that your life is an individualized aspect of God, you completely are in a different state. You remember that you're powerful and you're not giving your power away to anything or anyone, because nobody can overpower you or dominate you unless you're not in your power. So when you're in a state of empowered feeling, remembering you're divine, it's not possible for anyone to scare you because you're unflappable. You remember you're eternal, limitless, and free, and your life is the life of God. So that is the main message they want to give you, is to do the internal work of remembering your true divine origins so that you're unflappable and feeling safe, and continuing to tune in and taking those divinely guided action steps that will bring you toward where you're heading. And they do want to address health and loving yourself enough to eat healthy foods, fresh, alive foods, not, not processed foods, but living foods with the solar energy of light within them. So how do we become lighter? We eat light. And what is light? Light is raw foods. And they want you to eat more of those and have a lot of self-love. And now we're going to pull, and thank you so much, Belinda, for your question. It's always great to see you on YouTube Live. So we now have just a couple minutes left, and I'd love to pull a card for anyone who's listening on the archives and everyone who's listening right now. So we're going to pull one final message from the Angel Therapy deck for all of us listening in the past, and it's Ascended Masters. Powerful, loving, and wise spiritual teachers are watching over and guiding you. So a little homework assignment would be to write using automatic writing, to write a letter to your guides, even if you don't know who they are yet, to just say, "Hi, it's Shishi. Is there anyone there? Is this real? If you are there, who are you? What's your name? What messages do you have for me? I welcome and I welcome you to help me in my life, all beings that are of the highest vibration of unconditional love." And then you start writing in your journal or on a piece of paper, and you will start to, if you spend enough time being open and breathing deep, you will get messages that will help you, because you absolutely do have a team of angels, guardian angels, and wise ascended masters helping you with your life. So I want to thank everyone for listening and for your calls, and I'm sending you lots of love from LA and wrapping you with a big angel Shishi hug right now. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week.